Wanted to make a video on rebound relationships, like the title says. Um, they're very common. I think everybody, one time or another in their life, they have sought companionship from another person to um, ease the pain of a heartbreak or a failed relationship. Um, and now I don't see anything wrong with it as long as you're honest about it, and the other person knows that if you're the person that's hurt, you're the person that's hurt, that's been hurt, and they're say, hey, I'm still in pain from my last go around with love, and if you still have feelings for the other person, you might want to let them know that, because if you're hiding that, um, you're basically, what you're doing is you're getting a human pet, um, and using them without their knowledge. And everybody at one time or another, we use each other and stuff. But the right thing would be to tell the person, so this is where I'm at. If you can handle that, we can go on and see what this takes us. But a lot of people don't do that. They hide it. They hide that, and that ends up hurting the other people. Um, and the person goes, they move in, or they get together, they start living together, and if there are children involved, you know, the person and the children, they get attached too. And so, you know, more often than not, from my experience, those relationships don't last, because you don't have your feelings into the other person. You're still thinking about the other person. If you're even in bed, in sex, invariably you end up comparing them, or you start thinking about the other person and stuff like that, and you're wishing, you're trying to put a round peg in a square hole, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't. It's not going to work. I've done it knowingly, and I've told the people, and they say, "Hey, this is where I'm at. Where I'm still hurting from the last thing, and it was catastrophic." But nobody's perfect. But I don't know. I just see it a lot. Where people, they want to replace one person with the other one, and they get really busy, and they just want to keep going, as if they want to get, well, this person is the right person. What the fuck is the right person? I don't know what the fuck that is. It doesn't exist. The right person, as far as like a formula, it has these attributes. Is that, well, it's got power steering, power brakes, and it's got a sunroof, and it's turbocharged, and it's got cruise control. Humans are not cars, man. I see it a lot in the dating game. It's so stupid. Well, we're not going to be compatible. How the fuck do you know? You don't know the person. You haven't even spoken to them. You haven't even interacted with them. Nothing. You don't know anything about them. Sure, a lot of people give lip service. Well, like, if you're a Christian and the person is a Christian, that doesn't mean you're compatible. That shit, man. There's some fucked up Christians. There's some fucked up Muslims. There's fucked up Hindus. There's fucked up humans everywhere. And even fucked up people, sometimes they're compatible with somebody else. So this business of choosing people, because they're convenient for you, because they can help you get over the other person, because even if you tell them, it doesn't work, and most of the times it doesn't. Very few times have I seen that. It ends up in one of these things where people are content I spoke to a friend of mine. I haven't spoken to her in years. And I know her, and I've known her for years, and stuff like that. And she's telling me, I'm still with such and such. And she's like, don't ask me why. I'm still with this guy. And she doesn't love the guy. She doesn't. He's just a guy, the quintessential quote unquote right guy. It doesn't exist. Somebody who's there for you and is convenient, but you're not in love with them. You don't love them. Sure, you appreciate them. You're used to them. You're content to an extent. Content to an extent. You might want to patent that shit. Um, but you're not happy. You're not happy, it sucks. And there's the thing: you don't know. Some people sometimes they get into a relationship with somebody to forget about somebody else that they're in love with because they think that the other person doesn't love them. You don't know that. You don't know that. The other person might be in other things going on in their life that they can't dedicate time to you at that moment. But that doesn't mean they don't love you. They just made a decision that they have to take care of business. And they have to take care of something in their life. They make that decision, and the fact that they didn't choose you doesn't mean they don't love you. They mean it could mean a lot of times. Sometimes it's got to do with career moves. It has to do with family. A lot of times with family and career and stuff like that. And I mean, look at people when in the service. They they endure, especially the people in the Navy, and especially the people in combat personnel, active combat. Those families go through so much. My cousin, he went through four tours in Iraq, and he was in the midst of it. I'm talking going. He's a mechanic. He was, fixing the Humvees and all this shit, and he had to go through hostile, explosive, latent territory, constantly getting bombed. And he felt like going back because he became too attached to his unit, and he felt a responsibility to those kids, and I have to talk him out of it. I got on his ass like, you got kids to raise, man. I know this is your family and stuff out in combat, and you feel responsible for those kids, but you got kids to raise, bro. You don't owe. Please, man, don't do it. Go back to your family. It doesn't mean he didn't love his children or his wife. That's how it rolls a lot of times with people, especially in these situations when there's catastrophic loss or danger to their family or loved ones or their unit in combat. They become like family. So it's hard. This shit is hard. I had to let go of somebody that I was with because I had a catastrophic, family event, health event, and but life is like I'm, I'm dating and all this shit, but I refuse to. I've done it before. I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm just trying to reflect. And it's hard. And if you're gonna go out in a relationship that with somebody where it's a rebound thing, tell them the truth. Just be honest. Give them the opportunity to make the decision for themselves. And if they make it, they make it knowing. So, but hey, this is hard. Relationships are really hard sometimes. Good luck out there.